Yo, what up? Yep, it's the start of a new month. And you know what this means? It's the start of May. It's the start of the summer movie season.
Hey there.
What up, Ethan?
Nothing much.
All right. I have something for my collection minute that I got. Now, I went to go see Sinners, which we will talk about soon.
Yep.
And it was really good. I actually got something. I got something from my screening. Here's what I got. I got a
nice.
Yeah, it's a movie called Black Bag by Mr. Soderbergh.
Oh, cool.
And another thing I got. Were you able to see The Accountant too? Because I haven't.
I haven't seen it.
Well, I managed to get a poster for it as well. Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So what do you have? All right. You have nothing for your collection minute?
Not that I know of.
Okay. So I guess it's time for us. We could just do Pickled Treasures pretty early for this one.
All right.
Well, or either that, or we can just wait until everyone gets.
All right.
All right. At least the ones that are able to join.
All right. I'm gonna use the restroom.
All right. And since May is also indicate that it's also Star Wars month, I figured I might as well take this opportunity to make my crackhead comment of the day for Star Wars. Come on. Yeah. Can't wait. So I might as well have a. All right. So with 2020, the summer movie season gonna start, I think we might as well. This month will probably be the launch of the Cartoon Spectrum podcasts where we take a look at cartoons. Since hopefully sometime this month we also do the SpongeBob stream. Yeah, wait a minute. Is no one gonna speak? Oh wait, Ethan's in the bathroom, so anyways. Here with me as a guest, I have Mr. Fish, Mr. Clownfish. What up?
Not much. Just got a haircut.
Yeah, I was able to get some things for my collection. Ever heard of the movie Black Bag?
Oh, yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah, and here's the card, and here's a bit of the poster for the accountant, too.
Oh, cool. Nice. I actually have something. Of course, I'm getting it as I'm going through it. Hold on a sec. See, I recently finished reading The Art of Amphibia, and now I'm checking out the Jurassic World Park visual history, and the book comes with all kinds of cool stuff. We got a little card.
All right, I'm back.
And let's see.
All right.
A map of the original park. And a brochure. It turns into a map. A schematic. The Kirby Enterprises card. And let's see. Some storyboard stuff. Which actually one of the storyboards showcased in the book was this, showcased in this book I got was from the book. This Lost World Rampage one that's in the book was the scene that was from the original novel where Muldoon shrank the Rex and he was unsure if he landed a successful hit or not. He did in the book.
All right. So I guess it's time for pickled treasures.
All right. I'm thinking of a pickle.
Oh, boy.
All right. I guess I could go with this movie here. My pickle of the show is a movie that I watched a couple nights ago. I reacted to this movie 2 nights ago. And if you said Cartoon Mania the movie, you would be correct.
I've seen that movie back in 2019. Why did I like that film back then? Then again, I was 14. This was before I knew who Matthew Littlemore even was, mind you.
Don't even get me started on Matthew Littlemore. My God. But yeah, there is absolutely no story. All this movie is just ripping off other properties. Like Looney Tunes, The Simpsons movie, Futurama.
Don't forget about Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, given that the premise is literally about this one guy living in a house with a bunch of fantastical creatures.
Which,
yes,
I'm not opposed for shows with similar premises, but do your at least something different to stand out.
Oh, man. The screenplay is awful. The dialogue is atrocious. The voice acting is just fucking terrible. The animation. Oh, my God. The fucking animation.
I remember this one being made on Adobe PowerPoint or something like that.
And it shows.
Oh, hell no.
The animation in this movie is absolute garbage.
I mean, it's slightly a step up from the Rodfellows movie, but then again, the Rodfellows movie was literally it looks like it was made in Go Animate.
Welcome, Blake.
All right. And, all right. Back to the movie. The pacing. Dear God. The fucking pacing. This movie felt like it was going on for an eternity.
Blake Gunnels, the movie that we're roasting is Cartoon Mania, the movie.
A
Cartoon
movie that
Mania?
a movie that I saw a couple nights ago. The message is just complete garbage. Like, letting your anger out on someone else could, I don't know how to put it, but the message is fucking garbage. Let's just put it that way.
And that's all. And not to mention, there's also the stuff that happened behind the scenes with Matthew Littlemore.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Why I like anything that hack is beyond me. But when I was 14, I gotta stop liking him a year after it.
Okay, Matthew Littlemore. What's wrong about him? I'm looking him up. Okay, I can't find a Wikipedia page.
He made NSFW videos with his with some of his characters, some of whom in his series are underaged.
Was kind of dreading it because, see, I've been coming across a lot of cartoon creators being exposed for disgusting things. We have John Kay, we have Rick Royland, we have what's his name, the creator of Many Magic Swords, Kyle Carosa.
Yeah, and also and even on YouTube we've been seeing that. Like just recently we have to deal with Saber Spark recently.
That was disappointing. What
did Saber Spark do? What did he do?
He apparently raped someone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
That was disappointing. I stopped watching it, but come on.
When did that happen?
It happened in the early 2010s or something. From what I heard. Let me bring it up. Let's see.
Not to mention the creator of the Loud House, too.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, and another one, the creator of 12 Forever. I mean, I know that was a woman in her case, but still.
Yeah. Julia Vickerman also worked on Powerpuff Girls 2016.
Oh yeah, the one where the girls work.
Yeah, that kind of puts a different spotlight in things when you know that. Same
All
with
right.
this,
Let's get back to the
Mighty
movie.
Swords, there's this character.
And that
She has
ending.
this hatred for pants, and it's not just her way she dresses. It's a whole joke.
Wait,
Okay,
well, yeah, ew, right, exactly, Blake. And yeah, go start. Don't watch it. All right.
That ending was fucking dog shit.
Yeah. Ghost Stargal. That video that Matthew Littlemore made is just ugh.
Shoot me.
So yeah, folks. My pickle of the show is indeed Cartoon Mania, the movie. Fuck this movie. All right. My treasure of the show is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Nice.
Yeah. Yay. Oh, and yeah, let's try not to go without making a jab at you know who.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Jab at you know who is it? All right.
Go on
So is that
with the Spider-Verse? Oh, right. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so is that really it?
No, I'm going to talk about this movie.
Oh, okay.
The animation is spectacular. And the animation is spectacular because the visuals really pop, and it feels like you've walked into a comic book, just like with Into the Spider-Verse. The screenplay is fantastic. The voice acting is phenomenal, especially when it comes to Shamik Moore and Haley Seinfeld.
And not to mention there was the chase sequence where Miles was running away from all the spider people and all of those animation styles. That sequence was just insane.
Get back here, Miles! Miles! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the multiverse!
One of the best action sequence. No, the best action sequence in any Spider-Man movie ever.
That's certain someone that we're gonna refrain from mentioning can cry us a river for all we care.
Yeah.
We'll play a sad song for him on the world's smallest violin.
Develop our hatred. And yeah,
All right.
I can't wait for Beyond the Spider in 2027.
Me too. And
Hard to believe
speaking
I'll
of
be in
action
my 30s
sequences,
by then.
the action sequences are spectacular, especially with the one that you guys mentioned.
And of course, like I like the messaging, define that stuff, like defining canon events.
Yeah. The characters
by the way, look at what Mr. Chilvian put in the chat.
Whoa.
Yep, I basically said it. She is a woke character.
All right.
The characters are also excellent, especially when it comes to Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, and Miguel O'Hara. And speaking of the villain, Miguel O'Hara himself, what a spectacular villain. The soundtrack is also peak. Need I say more?
No, it's like everything of this movie is true. It's fantastic.
Exactly.
All right,
that, folks, is and that cliffhanger of an ending has me hyped for Beyond the Spider-Verse.
All right. So with that being said, it's time we move on to my favorite part of these podcasts, Crackhead Comment of the Day.
Oh
boy.
And since this is Star Wars month we're in, I figured I might as well showcase a toxic Star Wars person. Hey,
that isn't a certain red pony with a very funny voice.
Oh boy! You remember that Sledgehammer comment I showed in a couple of live streams ago, where I showcased that? Well, apparently, but this was before Cartoon Cheese video made on him. And he said something that made that almost makes that sledgehammer comment look tame in comparison, as well as the whole, the one that he sent towards Neon Brony.
Oh boy.
Ready? All right, let me show it in time. Share screen. All right, let's read this shit, shall we? It's not the harmless, dumb opinion, you cocksucker. It's an inherently dangerous message that there's children. That affection is shown through violence, or how he just needs a loving, nurturing angel to bring him back to the light. Also, you didn't really prove my overall point about you wanting to commit acts of violence against people with dumb opinions. You just spouted hyper emotional mush about how you view a movie. Well, yeah, why wouldn't I assault someone who thinks it's okay for Lucasfilm to fetishize the abuse that happened to Ray and Kylo?
Diaz, it's a movie.
Grow the fuck up.
Yeah, apparently he wants to assault someone over Star Wars opinions.
Well, I'm not
how do you know that how do you know that Lucasfilm is trying to fetishize the abuse that happened between Rey and Kylo? And besides that, you do realize that they're actors, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie.
It's like over Star Wars. Like, if this doesn't prove that his hate for Star Wars needs to... Exactly, Mr. Chobian. They didn't fetishize it. It was just poorly written.
Right. Also, I'm not surprised because, like, he described The Lion King as quote-unquote essay on the... Like, watching the movie was like being essayed or something or whatever. Saying that is
sexual assault.
Yeah. Saying that is insulting to victims of that.
Yeah.
Like this, like it's fiction. Why are you getting mad at people? Imagine if you tried to assault someone over Star Wars. What would happen if you did it in real life?
He would literally get arrested.
Yeah, and possibly a restraining order too.
Mm-hmm.
If I was in that situation, if he actually tried to do that to me, I'd call the cops on him and possibly sue him.
Same here.
Mm-hmm.
Did they yeah, exactly. Diaz acted more like Kylo Ren than Adam Driver.
Yeah. Oof.
At least Adam Driver seems like a decent guy in real life. I don't believe for a second Zayd is. The essay comment was from his second revisit in the Lion King 2019 context. Yes, he is Billy Butcher.
The blue sky.
Oh, and and this isn't even getting into what's recently been revealed about Zayd, which Zayd and when Zayd got confronted for commissioning someone who also did cub art and stuff, he decided to make it about his hateum, which I'm just gonna say this right now. How difficult is it for you to keep your hatred towards Star Wars and your hateum out of a situation for once?
Yeah, and we're also trying to use it was years ago excuse, even though he has not changed.
And plus, you have no room to talk, Diaz. Considering the fact that you literally you literally decided to argue that defense in your video about Doug Walker's Sailor Moon review. You don't get to use the "it was years ago" excuse.
Yeah, like he compared Doug Walker to Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, remember when the whole "it was years ago"? He's probably still using burner accounts. One of them actually has my user handle in it, telling me to get off the internet.
And not to mention either, he literally decided to go right back to making violent threats towards people. He literally told someone that they should get off the internet, or he would grab a shotgun,
or say that they deserve to have their wee cut off.
Oh my god!
Like I can definitely show it. I can definitely show that he's still doing it. If you want me to. I would, but we don't want to drag this out for too much long. I'll say that Fury also commented on that same user as well.
Right.
Saying, oh, look, someone else doesn't like you. Diaz, we're gonna keep bitching about you until you're finally off the internet.
Yes.
Like, yeah. I mean, I had a friend, well, actually an old friend. They decided to leave the internet for mental health reasons, and like we had a falling out, but we made peace. But this friend, he has decided to leave, and like for his mental health reasons, and I thought that's good, and I wish the best for him.
Yeah. The irony of
like,
avoiding his past while haunting his hate them for their past, the hypocrisy is staggering. Yes, he is a hypocrite.
Uh-huh.
All right, and we also see another edition of Diaz is a Karen. Lol. No, he's worse than a Karen, actually. Yeah, imagine criticizing the thing you hate only to become the very person you hate.
Indeed,
Alright,
it's
yep.
ironic.
I do want to announce something.
Alright.
I'm thinking about doing a discussion live stream about Rebecca Starlight and Lily Orchard.
For Rebecca, you're able to, but for Lily, I don't think you want to put her name because, like I said, she does copyright strike people.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten over it, Lily. Oh, and by the way, Lily, I'm not calling you CD call. Lily, here's a little something for you and until you're off the internet. All right. So now that we're finally finished with our crack kids collections and pickle treasures, I think it's time that we go over all the crack we saw in April. Until we wait until Ryan gets here. Yeah, we'll go over the ones that Ryan didn't watch. So Ethan, you get to have your first choice.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and rant on a Minecraft movie.
I actually did see that movie in theaters last week, and the theater that I went to was surprisingly not really all that packed. And when the infamous sequences rolled around, the audience was actually pretty tame.
That's good, but before I rant on this movie, I want to address something. The TikTok trend that's been going on.
Yep.
Yes, the whole Chicken Jockey
trend that's been going on TikTok.
Oh my God.
All these. Whenever that infamous Chicken Jockey meme comes on, boom. The audience just starts throwing popcorn and their drinks.
Yes, someone literally brought in a real life chicken into the movie theater.
Oh my God!
Yeah, which by the way, which in certain situations that chicken could have died.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, it gets even worse. They literally light real fireworks into the theater.
Oh my God! But that's not even the worst part. Get ready for this. There was a stabbing incident outside of a screening of this movie in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Oh God! What is wrong with people? Like this movie only furthered my hatred for TikTok. Like TikTok should have been banned long ago.
I'm so glad I never got into TikTok.
I'm
Also,
glad I don't even have a TikTok account.
Me neither. Fuck that.
Also,
And from what I've heard, someone even brought in a fucking gun
whoa.
into a.
My goodness. And
Are you kidding me?
and from what I've been hearing, there have been people who have been quitting their jobs at movie theaters because of this movie.
Yeah.
Can't say I blame
and-
them.
And there
Yeah.
were also
I don't blame.
there was
I
also
don't blame
an,
them.
there was also
let
an
me say-
incident where people were injuring movie theater staff.
Wow.
What is wrong with humanity?
And it's
And
from,
by the way, one thing I need to point out, like, let me remember this right. Apparently, it got so bad that police were involved, and the news and the director, Jared Hess, fucking condoned these people.
Yeah, Warner Brothers even condones these people because they're literally holding an event where moviegoers can actually go crazy whenever they want.
Yeah, they're gonna do it this month. Why are we doing it? Quit glorifying these people. If this is another reason why movie theaters are dying, because we watch a movie in peace, not deal with these annoying TikTokers who piss us off.
Exactly.
All you guys are doing is making the employees' jobs harder.
Exactly.
With employees with minimum wage and crunch hours, y'all gotta be ashamed of yourselves.
Not to mention, those who are cleaning things up can only clean up for a limited amount of time because there's also because there's the next showing of the movie which they need to get ready for.
Yeah, in one instance, there was in one theater there was literal puke.
Oh my goodness.
I feel bad for the workers.
I do too.
Yeah.
All right, so to cap things off, if you're one of these annoying little TikTok who are pulling all this crap, and this goes for you too, Alex, because you also contributed to Chicken Jockey. Yeah, like Alex Children to Get Up in 2001 actually performed Chicken Jockey.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. He literally did it as a short where he was recording in the theater and actually cheered at Chicken Jockey.
Seriously though, if you're one of these user TikTokers or one of these stupid people who use TikTokers, not only ought to be ashamed of yourself, but at best you either better get grounded by your parents or at worst face juvie.
Yeah. And by the way, Alex, I'm surprised that you haven't been banned from your movie theater yet because of what you've been doing.
Yeah, at what point he did say that he yelled in Across the Spider-Verse. So yeah, everyone who contributed to that stupid Chicken Jockey meme and made everyone's time in movie theaters both in the theater and also the workers and the police force, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Grow the hell up, please.
And not to mention, families had to get their refunds.
Yeah, I saw this one video where this one employee was basically yelling at those in the theater, saying, "We had a couple of families come and get a refund because of these teenagers doing all of this stuff."
Yeah, and this is to all of you who actually contributed to that. Fuck you.
Right.
Yep.
And now let's read the comments. Let's read the comments first because they also had something to say about it. The TikTok stuff is a good reason not to see every movie in theaters. I don't blame anyone. All right. A Minecraft movie experience, loud people, messy theater, real chicken, fireworks, stabbing, and guns. Good luck tomorrow. All right. And I don't get the significance of Chicken Jockey. And of course, I don't use Twitter or Facebook or Discord or TikTok. So yeah. Screw you, all of you people.
Yeah,
And
like
now-
just imagine.
like the movie itself, I would honestly say is a so bad it's good kind of movie. A lot of the plot points are very underdeveloped, very underdeveloped. Like the whole like the brother and sister relationship in the movie. But I will say that the movie is so bad it's good because Jack Black is hamming it up really big in this movie.
Oh,
All
and
right.
just imagine if there was an incident where people were just fighting each other in that
would be-
same.
I bet they would have all died at that point. Anyways,
So yeah,
enough. Enough with
So, yeah.
let's-
fuck this TikTok trend.
yeah. I hate
Mhm.
TikTok. And now
I
we can
fucking
move on.
despise TikTok.
Yeah, and now y'all can move on to the actual movie because I haven't seen it.
Oh
Okay.
boy, this movie is absolutely terrible. The only redeeming quality I have with it is that the mob designs look really good, and that Technoblade tribute was actually pretty cool. But that is it. The story is just so unoriginal. The screenplay, oh my god, one of the absolute worst screenplays of the year. The acting is terrible. Jack Black gives out one of his absolute worst performances as Steve, who is obnoxious throughout the entire film.
Although I would still rather put up with him as Steve than Crabtrap in a Borderlands.
Right. The fact that they thought that advertising the part when he was crapping bullets was a good idea.
Oh my god. And not to
The Minecraft
Jason
movie.
Momoa, Danielle Brooks, and Emma Myers are all terrible in this movie as well.
The Minecraft movie is an hour and 40 minutes, Blake.
Oh yeah, the fucking pacing. Oh my god. This movie was an hour and 40 minutes, and it felt like 3.5 hours. God.
Another thing that I don't like about this movie is that the brother and sister relationship is very underdeveloped. Like they don't really give enough time to establish any sort of grief that the brother and sister are feeling towards their mother passing away, and they don't really show them really fighting all that much on screen with each other.
What a terrible subplot. My god. The CGI and visual effects are some of the absolute worst of the year. I mean, the mob designs do look good, but the horrendous CGI, but the god-awful CGI and visual effects are what ruined it.
By the way, Felix, the South Park dude, what makes the Chicken Jockey thing with that person bringing a real life chicken into the movie even worse is that the Chicken Jockey scene in the movie appears very late into the film, so that chicken was probably in stress for a very long time during the film.
The soundtrack is obnoxious, especially when it comes to the Lava Chicken song. Oh my god. And the worst scene in the entire film is also one of the worst scenes of the year. The fucking Chicken Jockey scene.
Which again, we did a rant solely because we fucking hate TikTok. Yeah, we're not over it, by the way.
Yeah, fuck TikTok. That ending can go fuck itself. So yeah. Oh, and both of the post-credit scenes are fucking garbage. So overall, a Minecraft movie is one of the worst films of the year, without question. 1 out of 10 or D minus. Fuck this movie.
This movie is the reason I invented the I'm not watching that mentions. I mean, there were others last year, but this is going to be on that for sure.
Yeah, there's only for this why I despise TikTok. And what and we need to keep reinforcing it. Fuck TikTok.
Fuck TikTok.
All right, on to the next movie from me. Look, let me say one more thing. If you like this movie, that's fine. Like if you enjoy a movie, that's one thing. But just don't act like these stupid TikTok users who do. All right.
Yeah.
And now the next movie from me is a movie called Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. Okay. Does anyone remember the first movie from 2018?
No.
Like, yeah,
Why
this
the
one
fuck
came
did
out.
it need a sequel?
Yeah, and I didn't even know that this was even a sequel. But after I finally watched it, I questioned why it even needed a sequel, considering the fact that this one hardly has like any action. Like, it's a lot like I didn't think that this sequel would actually be worse than the first movie, because the first one had moments I liked, whereas this one just bored me to tears. At least for most of it. Like, there were some parts I like Butler and O'Shea Jackson did have some fun moments in the movie, and the third act alone was actually quite enjoyable, but everything else was a really mid sequel, and it makes you question, why is it even called Pantera, since there's no Pantera in it, and the film is just an overall forgettable mess, and it questions why Den of Thieves even needed a sequel in the first place. But then, like, the first one wasn't even that profitable, so this just comes off as a pointless sequel that had no business being made. 5 out of 10.
All right. My next movie is A24's Warfare.
All right, let me get the title, and here you go.
Yeah, folks, I love this movie. Did you know that this movie was also this movie was directed not only by Alex Garland, but this was co-directed by a war veteran.
Yeah.
Cool.
The story pretty much keeps you hooked throughout the entire film. I mean, the screenplay is excellent. Excellent screenplay. The acting is terrific. Everyone in this movie gives out a spectacular performance. The cinematography is just breathtaking, and so is the editing. The pacing is really good, too. That ending was also really, really chilling. But, so yeah, folks, Warfare is one of the best war films I've seen in quite some time. Definitely a 10 out of 10 or an A+, for sure.
Yeah,
All right.
and Ryan also saw it, and since he's not here, he also would give it 5 stars on Letterboxd.
My next movie is Sinners.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Yep.
I saw
My
this
favorite
one.
movie of the year so far.
Yeah, I saw this one last week. Folks, this is now my second favorite film of this year so far, behind The Day the Earth Blew Up.
Right on.
This movie is just terrific, and I mean it. The story is excellent. The screenplay was terrific. The directing by Ryan Coogler is also fantastic. The acting is phenomenal. Everybody gives out a spectacular performance, especially from Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld. Seriously, if Michael B. Jordan is not one of the nominees for next year's Oscars, I don't know what I'm going to do. The cinematography is just fantastic. The visual effects are just excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And so is the CGI. It's very scary. The score by Hildur Guðnadóttir, who was the composer for last year's Abomination, Joker Folie Deux.
He redeemed himself.
Yep. Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And
That
all
ending
right.
was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, folks, if this movie is playing at a theater near you, please go see it.
Yep.
Instead of that stupid Chicken Jockey movie.
Oh
Yep.
my god. But yeah, folks. Definitely a 10 out of 10 or an A+.
And
Right.
now for my input on this movie. This was fantastic. Like, this might currently be my second favorite movie of the year. Only challenge, surprise, the Day the Earth Blew Up. Although that movie is also tied with another film I'll bring up as the best film of the year right now. So Sinners is a fantastic movie that basically is basically a vampire movie in the 1930s. And the movie has fantastic performances from Haley Steinfeld and Michael B. Jordan, which they better get on. The effects are amazing. Like you can tell that and this movie was scary. It actually kept my attention. With Ryan Coogler's direction and its commentaries about race and religion, and it was at most time, and that finale was like I was immediately on the edge of my seat when watching this movie. So yeah, if you have not seen Sinners, this might be one of the best modern vampire movies in recent memory. I'm definitely giving it 10. And now I'm passing the gauntlet over to the Dino Man.
Woo! Okay. I have to say I really liked it. Like, it was like it's very well shot, and the vampires do. It reminded me of that film From Dusk Till Dawn, where the vampires appear in the last act. But the vampires, they got to shine, and I liked how they followed the rules of traditional vampires. But the best vampires are when they provide commentary on something, when they're allegorical for something. This one, for a case, it was tackling cultural vampirism, and what it was great was it did it without feeling preachy, and the direction was outstanding. Michael B. Jordan was pulled off a dual role seamlessly. I'm amazed how he had chemistry with himself, and the soundtrack was just amazing. That one sequence, wow, and it had a strong sense of gospels and blues, and even managed to incorporate heavy metal without detracting from the time period. And it's just it was just amazing. And of course that ending, whoa, that gave me chills. Yeah. So yeah, Sinners, go see it.
Yeah, please do. Sinners is fantastic, and I can't wait to see it again. All right, and the next movie from me, God, I hate this company so much. And the fact that I have to watch one of these movies. You know the Last Supper?
Oh boy.
Yeah. Don't get it
Pure
confused
flesh.
with the. Don't get it confused with with The Chosen, The Last Supper, which is 3 parts apparently. I'm talking about The Last Supper from Pure, or I guess is what they like to call themselves, Great American Pure Flicks or Pinnacle Peak. Anyways, this movie is, if you didn't guess, the retelling of Jesus and the Last Supper, as well as his crucifixion. And of course, you also know that this movie is just boring. Like, with Ramadan's betrayal of Judas, like, it goes through every trope that we've seen these adaptations go. And of course, this movie does nothing to change it up. Like, I'll give it, actors were kind of trying. Otherwise, this movie was boring. Like the only thing, like the good thing I'll say for this is that at least it made people want to watch the Angel Studios Kings of Kings to see what was a better movie of this topic. I guess objectively, one of Pure Flix's less offensive bad movies, but I wouldn't even call this a good movie. And for that, I'm giving it a flat out 4 out of 10. And I can't stress how much I really dislike Pure Flix. Can that company just get shut down, please? Their movies are not good.
I do know of another movie that came out in 2025. It's apparently a film called Sneaks, and this is the same studio that is also responsible for other such classics. And I'm using that in sarcasm. Norm of the North and Arctic Dogs.
I didn't even realize the film was in theaters until when I just saw the showing for it. Wow, I didn't even realize that. It was how the showing.
I haven't seen the movie, and it was right in front of the Minecraft movie as a trailer, and that film looks extremely cliche.
It looks awful. The animation looks atrocious.
And I have not seen it.
The animation looks like it was made by fucking AI.
If you told me that it was a parody, I would have believed it.
All right, yeah. So far, at least I'll give this. At least it looks like at least it has an identity, and at least it didn't look entirely soulless. Just mostly soulless.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. So moving on from to Disaster is a film from Shudder that I watched called The Rule of Jenny Penn.
Huh, never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, if I were to summarize this movie, it's basically just John Lithgow playing with dolls and also trying to torture his the people around him. And yeah, I think he's the one thing that's carrying this movie. And I actually found the movie, it actually did keep my attention once we got to the second half of the movie. It starts out slow and boring for a while, but when we actually see once the movie progresses, I started to like it a little bit. It's not an S-tier movie by any means, but John Lithgow as well as Jeffrey Rush's performances also carry this one a bit. And I would admit, there were moments that does have some more, it more leans more into being more of a dark comedy over than more horrorist, which I guess for a Shudder movie, which is basically all but horror, I guess that's probably saying a lot. So yeah, The Rule of Jenny Penn, it was all right for one viewing, 6.5 out of 10. And the next movie is a movie called The World Will Tremble, or as I like to call it, Escape from Holocaust. And just by saying that, yeah, this movie really doesn't have that much going for it. The performances are fine, and while the movie is just okay, Of all the movies I watched this month, this one has the least effect on me. So, because I don't have much to say about The World Will Tremble, I can only give it a 6 out of 10. But that's gonna be a stretch for my suspension of disbelief. And now we move on to, and because I want to have Rex's involvement, I want to go for
Not Just a Goof. Oh yeah, I saw this documentary. I meant to watch it sooner because in honor of because it was released to coincide with the 30th anniversary of the Goofy movie. This documentary gave me a new appreciation for the film and animation as a whole. And side note, it was a bit funnier because like this was back when Jeffrey Katzenberg was in with Disney, and if you know him, how like you know him leaving, he then founded DreamWorks. But anyway, well, the animated segments, when you're watching them, you realized, whoa, Jeffrey is a bit more like Farquaad than you realize, which is ironic because Farquaad was intended to be a caricature of Michael Eisner.
By the way, since you brought up Goofy here, I'm going to do this impression. Gosh, this Disney is starting to appreciate me more.
Good impression. Anyway, the documentary it was well made. It had some nice animated segments for the behind the scenes, like depicting the behind the scenes, and it featured interviews from the cast, and it was just a great documentary that was also certainly inspiring, especially at then. Also, it featured Corey Coleman of Double Toasted. Yep. Did you go on?
I saw this movie and it was a great documentary about the making of a Goofy movie. And between this and The Day the Earth Blew Up, 2025 has been a good year for tributing side characters from iconic characters from their respective studios. In the case of Warner Brothers, it's Looney Tunes with Daffy and Porky, and with not just the Goof, it's basically Goofy and pretty much everything that revolves around Mickey Mouse. And yeah, it was a really good documentary. And this is one of the best documentaries to watch on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Look at that. An actual worthwhile thing to watch on Disney Plus.
Yeah, in your face, David Sleazebag. The Day the Earth Blew Up got released after all.
All right. So with not just the Goof out of the way, we watched another movie called Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League.
Huh. Gonna have to check.
Yeah, it's a sequel to Batman Ninja. And I actually quite enjoyed this one. Although I wish it could have been better. Yeah, the art direction is actually pretty good. Like, although I kind of wish they committed to a full-on Batman anime movie or a Justice League anime movie, I enjoyed the Justice League in this movie well enough, or as it's known as the Yakuza League. Like, although I will admit that it kind of would have worked better as a TV show to expand on the Yakuza League, because like I actually enjoyed them. And by the way, the Yakuza League Wonder Woman over Gal Gadot.
For sure.
Yeah. And this movie is pretty unfocused altogether. But overall, for being one of the better modern DC outings, I think it's one of their better ones. Like, especially in terms of Warner Animation. Because they kind of been going downhill with DC, their animation department. Like Warworld, Justice League Warworld, and Injustice alone were enough to drive people away from the Warner Animation Group. So yeah, 6.5 out of 10, or just a 6 out of 10 really, because I kind of feel like they should have done more with it. But I was still fairly entertained. And the next movie I talk about is The Assessment. The movie stars Elizabeth Olsen and let me check the other one because Something I'll forget sometimes. All right. The assessment is its cast stars Elizabeth Olsen, Hamid Patel, and of course Alicia Vikander as Virginia. If you want to know what this one has, it's basically just Elizabeth Olsen and Patel pretty much like raising Alicia Vikander's Virginia, who basically acts like a child in this movie. Yeah, and it's actually quite good, because spoiler alert, it's for those who have not seen it, the assessment, I do recommend this one. Like, I swear, this movie, mothering an adult with the mind of a child can be a pain in the ass. And that's exactly what this movie is. And I quite enjoyed this one. Definitely currently one of my favorite films of the year. And it's definitely one of those films where if you know little about it, I would, the better. Like, I would definitely say this movie. So yeah. 9.5 out of 10.
No, John Wick. We would not want Matthew Littlemore to write and direct a theatrically released animated film.
And now, oh my God, this next movie. Fuck.
Is it the Snow White remake?
Nope. It's probably currently the worst movie of the year. I'm going to get to talk about 3 of the worst films of the year so far. The first one up is a movie called The Woman in the Yard.
I heard bad things about it.
I'm not sugarcoating. This is probably, if not the worst Blumhouse horror movie I have ever seen in my life.
And that's saying a lot.
Like, seriously, though. I hated this. First off, this movie, like every modern PG-13 horror film, it has everything. Tired jump scares, check. Cliches, definitely. Like, characters making dumb decisions, particularly with Ramona, the mother character, check. And I shit you not, when watching this movie, I felt like it was just doing this throughout the runtime. Alright? Here we go. This is what it was doing the entire time. So, hey Mom, I got a very good idea to maybe solve this issue. No. But why not, Mom? Because fuck you! But there's literally no reason why I can't do it. Because I fucking hate you! You fucking fuck! And that's the majority of the film. The son and the mother bickering about the freaking woman in the yard who just sits there. Yeah, it happens, despite the fact that this movie is an hour and 27-minute long. And yet it felt like 3 hours. But all of that is nothing compared to the third act. Holy crap. The third act wasn't just nonsensical and makes everything in the film make no sense whatsoever. Like, holy shit. Like, if it, like they couldn't even decide on what on their ending. But that's not what pissed me off. What pissed me off is that, let me spoil the movie for you. Ramona is going through grief right now because of the loss of her husband, and because she's pretty much alone with only her 2 kids to take care of. Guess what this movie decides to end on? The woman in the yard making her actively commit suicide.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. That was the note they chose to end on, and she's just that as a ghost. Okay, movie. Let me get this straight. If I'm going through a loss of any kind of my family, my dog, or whatsoever, you're telling me the only way to end it is to commit toaster bath.
What the fuck?
What on earth, movie?
I'm not kidding. Like, the film on itself was already bad. Like, it was already like 1 star. But this pushed it over the edge from a one-star movie to probably the worst film of the year so far. That ending made me angry because as someone who has dealt with the loss of people in my family and has had suicidal thoughts in the past, this offended me.
So
I just
0
thought-
out of 10.
Yes, it gets a 0 out of 10, a big 0 out of 10.
Yep. All
I
right.
hated this. Screw this movie and its rotten message. And please, for the love of God, let this be a PSA. If you're going through something like that, like the loss of a family member, or you're just going through some depression or suicidal thoughts,
Oh,
don't actually.
and this
like,
movie has a 43% of Rotten Tomatoes.
This is just one of the 3 out of the 4 movies that weren't being entirely panned by the critics. My God, I hated this so much. And this isn't even the time I'm going to get very negative because I saw another film that pissed me off. I despise this movie. And I know there's probably going to be a worse film later in the year, but you're going to have to try really hard to make this movie look like an Oscar winner in comparison. The next film, it doesn't get any better with Hell of a Summer, or as I like to call it, How to Get Scammed by a Movie.
Oh, man. I heard this was very disappointing.
Yeah, it was directed by Fullpart, and this movie was meant to be a throwback to 80s slasher movies. I don't see it. I really don't see it. Like, I don't know how this is meant to be a throwback, because this movie was just a pain to watch. First off, most of the acting is terrible, as well as most of the humor being falling flat, and the characters being unlikable. Like, the movie I was more annoyed by this movie because most of the movie wasn't even funny. But what really, really makes me mad, and the reason why I say How to Get Scammed by a Movie, this movie is supposed to be a slasher movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
The movie is rated R, right?
Right.
Yes, it is.
How would you like to see you know how Razor X summed up the movie Prey, the one with lions, where all of the death and most of the death happen like off screen or in cutaways.
And all the interesting stuff happens off screen.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Most of the deaths in this movie are fucking cutaways, despite being an R-rated slasher movie.
If you're gonna be rated R, commit to it or take advantage of it.
Like, seriously though, and the main slasher villain is basically and his motive is basically just Scream 4. Yeah, that's how bad Hell of a Summer is. And honestly, this film was so bad that it might be possibly one of the worst modern slasher movies I have ever seen, alongside Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Founders Day. And because of how much it wasted my time, it is getting a flat out 1 out of 10. One out of 10 or a D-. Screw this movie. Okay, Ryan. And oh God, it's not gonna get any better here. We still have to continue the rants. And that is a film called
Never heard of this one.
Rex watched it.
I enjoyed it as a guilty pleasure, but I cannot. I had fun with it, but I can understand some of the criticism. Like, it could have had a better script, and some of the action scenes could have been better. But I enjoyed it as a guilty pleasure. Like,
I really didn't like this movie at all.
Okay. I respect your opinion, though. You can
Yeah.
go first.
All right, this film. Look, I enjoy a well-led action movie. I enjoy dumb fun action movies. This trash was neither of those things. This movie was the cure to insomnia. Like, seriously though, the action is terrible, as with some very choppy editing. And I shit you not once did I care about this movie. Like, it stars Viola Davis, who is the only redeeming quality here, that at least she looked like she was at least trying to make this crap script work. But yeah, this movie has every action cliche in the book, to the point where you can predict anything that happens in this movie, and chances are you're gonna be right about all of this. While I'm not one of those people who believed in that stupid rhetoric that the Chuck Podcast throws around, because this movie is basically like this movie. I struggle to have to suspend my disbelief here. How is it that a woman of her age and shape is able to flawlessly take down some government men who are probably stronger than her?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, my suspension of disbelief does not go very far.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't normally want to suspend my disbelief, but not here. Mention, this movie has some atrocious plotting, with the villain being lame and to use crypto AI to make other presidents look bad. Everything else,
is this movie trying to symbolize how the real world is doing right now? Like they're trying to AI is trying to replace everything.
Seriously though, this film was a dull mess. And while it's not as bad as Hell of a Summer, only because of Viola Davis, and it didn't piss me off the same way The Woman in the Yard did, I'd still call it one of the worst films of the year. I expect this, along with In the Lost Land. It wouldn't be surprising if you did it in the top 10, 11 of the year list. As a result of this, I'm giving it a 2 out of 10.
Okay. I respect your opinion. I enjoyed this as a guilty pleasure. Like, I can understand some of the issues with the action, but I enjoyed it as a guilty pleasure. I mean, Viola Davis is awesome. I mean, she's always awesome, even if she's in a bad movie, she'll give a great performance.
All right.
Example, Suicide Squad.
And of
course, it's the closest thing we'll get to Amanda Waller versus Homelander. But one thing I actually did like was how this villain, I mean, I know you didn't like him, but
I'm going to go ahead and go eat dinner.
Okay.
All right.
See it? I liked how he actually pointed out the hypocrisy in world governments, which I thought, okay, he's not wrong. He has a point there. But regardless of what you think of this movie, we can agree with one thing all. But I'd rather have Viola Davis as president instead of the current one.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we moved on from crap, we could thankfully be a little bit more positive this time, because this one's for you.
I enjoyed this movie for the most part. I mean, sure, it felt derivative of How to Train Your Dragon and E.T., and it could have taken advantage more with its premise, but I enjoyed it for the most part. It was a cute film, and it was the Hannah Zengel, the lead actress. She carried the film, and she had chemistry with the baby Uchi. Plus, Willem Dafoe is great as always. But what was really awesome was the fact that the creatures were brought to life through practical effects. Like, they were brought to life through animatronics and puppets. And they look really nice. Shows that, these effects still do have a place in this day and age. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. If you're into animal movies like E.T. and How to Train Your Dragon, or just monster movies or creature fantasy movies, check this out. I give it a
All right.
3.5 out of 5. Oh, and just let me say, the director for this movie, he has an awesome name, Isaiah Saxon. Just thought I'd point that out. Okay, what else?
The next one I saw drop. And thankfully, this is a more positive review this time because I really like this.
All right.
Yeah, it's definitely a mystery thriller movie that's basically involving, like, this movie was quite enjoyable actually. From the director of the Happy Death Day movies, I thought this one was an enjoyable movie. It's revolving around Violet, like Violet who goes on a date with Henry. Unfortunately, the house ends up getting invaded, and it has a mystery texter of someone making her do stuff during the date, which makes everything hell. As I love those points because if she doesn't do it, they're dead. The babysitter and her kids is dead. I really enjoyed it. The performances were good. This movie actually kept me invested. I wanted to see what the reveal was going to be. And when we got to the reveal, it was really silly, actually. But I kind of had fun with it. Like, this one was actually quite enjoyable. And Christopher Landon proves that he is still a great filmmaker, one of the best things to come out of Blumhouse right now. Yeah, and this is literally a film they needed after the disappointment that was Wolfman, and of course the anger-inducing movie called The Woman in the Yard.
Right.
Oh, and overall, it was actually quite an enjoyable movie. I would definitely give it a 7.8 out of 10, actually. And the next one is.
Oh yeah, I had a good time with this movie. I'm not the most caught up with Cheech and Chong's work, but I plan to check them out more after this stuff. But like, it was a documentary, like, about their upbringing, like, their long-standing career and their upbringings and how influential they were, and like they're falling out, and then they're them mending things together, and it's a great film. And it was also really funny. It had some good jokes. I'm not going to spoil the jokes, but this was a great documentary. I'm sure Cheech and Chong fans will get a kick out of it. So yeah, a great documentary. I give it a 4 out of 5.
All right. And because we're still on the topic of Star Wars, I might as well give this movie the time of day.
All right, nice. Yeah, this film, I watched this for the 20th anniversary showing, and I enjoyed it. Like, it's probably my favorite Star Wars movie. I mean, well, there's some debate. I can understand cases like why people would prefer Empire or even the original Star Wars, but this one, I find it able to appreciate the nuances more. Like, with recent events, I mean, that line, "This is how liberty dies," with thunderous applause. It has certainly gotten more relevant over the years. But anyway, it's great. Like, and it was nice to see Hayden Christensen, like, in the opening, like, saying, like, see that he's able to recover. Same with Ahmed Best. Of course, that was with Phantom Menace, but like, it's nice to see them recover. But this film is great. Like, it's the best looking of the prequels, and as I mentioned, it's gotten more relevant. Like, there are lines like, "Have you considered that we are on the wrong side?" And that it's probably the most emotional. Like, the Great Jedi Purge, Anakin becoming Darth Vader, and realizing his worst fear became a reality. And of course, and Obi-Wan having to, like, Obi-Wan and Anakin's falling out. But I liked how it ended, like, with a glimmer of hope. So yeah, my favorite Star Wars movie.
it's also kind of surprising how this movie ended up being this way, considering how episodes 1 and 2 ended up. The previous prequel trilogy.
I like the prequels, but I can understand the issues with the first two. But for the record, my issues aren't Jar Jar or Anakin being whiny. It's more of with pacing. Heck, I don't even mind some of the cheesy dialogue because I can understand that's a stylistic choice. Like if you look at like the films that George Lucas was inspired by, you'd hear the resemblance. Plus, I've heard worse dialogue. Like this is probably one from the Boondock Saints too. These sons of bitches prison fucked us in the ass, and then they wiped their dicks on our grandma's drapes. Or this one line: I bet you fist fuck your wife because she doesn't know what to do with your cock. That was from this anime movie, Vampire Wars.
The theaters are very lucky that they didn't replay any of the Star Wars sequel trilogy movies, because they would not hear the end of it from a certain angry pony man.
Right. Something an annoying note that I hear is like fandom menacers that like to rewrite history, like claiming, oh, the fandom always loved George Lucas in the prequels, and now they're using Revenge of the Sith to bash Disney. No, you people were hating on Revenge of the Sith. Well, everyone because from what I remember, there was a bunch of hype for Revenge of the Sith, and it was generally well received, even from people who didn't like the last two. That's why I really hate these revisionist histories. Like they act like they were always fans of George Lucas when they weren't.
Screw the Star Wars fandom.
Indeed. I saw there was this person I follow, they had a reel on their Instagram and saying, I'm you Star Wars fans and everything. I normally don't let a fandom ruin but the Star Wars fandom is coming very close.
Speaking of the angry pony man, Mr. Chilbian, look at what Mr. Chilbian put in the chat.
That's accurate. That actually sounds like something he would say.
Yeah, we all hate Star Wars fans. Probably the worst fandom ever.
Of course, I would make the case that Minecraft fans, well, for the movie at least, it bumped the fandom up to a bit after recent events.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the Sith. And that concludes all the movies that me, Ethan, and Rex saw in April because Ryan wasn't here.
Right. Hope everything's going okay for you, Ryan. Happy first day of May. Oh,
exactly.
Something else for Star Wars, because with the I'm planning to watch Gareth Edwards' previous films, and the next film I'm going to watch is Rogue One. I'm watching his films in prep for the new Jurassic movie. I know you're not too excited for that, but I'm learning some stuff, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. Like the new Velociraptor designs, they're a mix of the Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptors and the Lost World Velociraptors, which I thought that's cool. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think we can include all the April stuff you watched, if only because May doesn't really have that many movies that we'll be reviewing. Right.
I plan to see that one movie that you saw in that anime movie on Netflix.
Aside from Mission Impossible and Thunderbolt.
Right.
And also it also benefits that we can do a longer stream, because I will also be doing My Little Pony seasons 2 and 3 ranked when we get to that.
Right.
Yeah, and it's kind of fitting that we're talking about Star Wars today, considering the fact that we're getting very close to May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also so far with My Little Pony, I already got the season premiere for the return of Harmony out of the way. You know, the introduction of Discord.
Right.
Yeah,
And we all know what happened to him later on.
yeah, Grogar. Yeah, and also, by the way, just to throw it out there, we'll be preparing for. Yeah, if there's anything for me to be prepared for coming in season 2, well, I did make a reference on my Discord about Flutter Bitch, saying how she somehow the one in the Return of Harmony was more nicer compared to another episode of season 2. You know, I made a joke where I said, yeah, I hinted on which episode it is. It was the episode that gave a certain cartoon reviewer depression.
Ah.
Yeah, and apparently Sean said that in the season 1 post that let's see, like how the Dog and Pony Show was a better episode around the concept of female empowerment as opposed to another episode in season 2. So I know what to go in looking forward to.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, that'll do it for tonight's podcast. And hopefully we'll see you later in the month, sometime in this month. We can finally do our SpongeBob retrospective stream for talking about SpongeBob and all our thoughts on the show as a whole.
All right.
Until then, see ya.
See ya.
See ya, everyone.
All right. Putting your hooves down.
See ya.
All right.